I've said this once and I'll say it again, but what happened to Charlie Kirk on September 10th, a terrible act by a horrible human being, mind you, named Tyler Robinson, alright? What happened on the 10th, it truly was a JFK moment for a lot of young Americans out there, for a lot of American citizens that really just came together after this horrific incident. And the reason why I think it really was something that really hit different is the fact that not only were a lot of people exposed to the raw video on social media that was very gruesome. I don't advise any sensitive people to actually see the video of what happened to Charlie, but that's exactly why I'm saying that what happened on the 10th, it really was that much of an impact as what happened to JFK many decades ago. And though he wasn't a president, I get that, he was very much well known among younger audiences out there. People in their 20s, their teens, even in, in their 30s, even older people in different areas, but widely popular in the younger groups. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01, and thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing about this Charlie Kirk situation, alright, the death of Charlie Kirk, it's bringing out a lot of true colors from a lot of actors, actresses, writers, directors, and more. Musicians, authors. We all saw what happened with Stephen King, by the way. He's a terrible guy. We know one thing now about Tom Hanks and where he stands, and he's been very vocal about this during the 2024 election, even the aftermath of the 2024 election as far as they saw it, right? One thing about Hanks right now is that he actually went on to go with another tirade about Trump and about the whole Charlie Kirk situation and the whole reaction going on in the country right now. Now, with the death of Charlie Kirk, bringing millions of Americans and those even around the world together to express their emotions of the horrific thing that happened on September 10th and to support each other, many celebrities have been coming forward, however, playing the blame game when it involves Charlie Kirk's death, President Trump, and politics in general. One of which is Tom Hanks, who was one of the worst takes yet and comes just after Stephen King received tons of backlash. Hanks delivered the following. Well, from where I'm standing, what happened on that day, it was a symptom of the toxic rhetoric coming from one side of the country, and I don't want to see people go blaming Democrats. We all know where this is coming from. It's coming from the lies and hyperbolic statements that come from MAGA Republicans that really do this over and over again, that resort to such a divided country that we are living in right now. I mean, just look at what happened to Stephen King. Everyone is canceling this man, somebody that I admire, somebody that I look up to, somebody that I have a long history with now because he made one factual mistake about Charlie Kirk on social media or X or whatever they're calling it now. It's inhuman behavior. Charlie Kirk's passing is a prime example of just how many people dislike Trump as our president right now and why it's creating so much tension between the right and the left and leaving those in the middle very confused and lost as to what to do or how to react. As for Stephen King, don't go canceling this man because he made a factual mistake about Charlie. Shame on all of you people. This is the exact type of response I'm talking about. Does anyone believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt anymore? That perhaps something means something else beyond your understanding? Look, I'm an actor, and I'm passionate about that, but I'm also passionate about my stance on politics, and I will remain like that. And what's happening to our country by MAGA, it just needs to stop. Stop blaming the left, stop blaming Democrats, and acting like children. Many of my colleagues think the same, that the blame gaming going on right now are those on the right blaming that we are blaming. How's that for a tongue twister? But really, everything that occurred on the 10th absolutely should have never happened, but this man should have seen something terrible like this coming, and perhaps it did have something to do with his own rhetoric that led so many young Americans to be angry with him. Now guys, let me just say one thing about Tom Hanks. Now, he's done this before in the past when he got a lot of flack of his portrayal of Trump supporters or a Trump supporter on SNL. The backlash was so large to the point that Lorne Michaels and those over NBC, they had to cancel additional skits that were strictly focusing on Trump supporters. In fact, this was going to be an over thing for Tom Hanks to mock Trump supporters on SNL. And that in the end was scrubbed. And you know what? Rightfully so. I think everything's just getting way too political in the end. I think that a lot of these shows that focus on comedy, everything is political, right? Whether it's about Trump or whether it's about anything else, in that sphere, if you will. It's also tiresome and exhausting, and especially coming from actors that are really saying such crazy things after Charlie Kirk's passing, after that terrible thing that happened to him by Tyler Robinson. And I really do hope that he serves justice. We all know what they can do in the state of Utah, let's just say that. But one thing right now is that we know that Tom Hanks, alright, is obviously gonna lose a lot of fans. He's been losing a lot of fans, quite frankly, but we all know why I think he is acting this way as well, is that he is very close to Stephen King. He's trying to stick up for Stephen King. We all know that he starred in the Green Mile movie. That was one major film of Tom Hanks. And then it's a shame when you have these actors coming out of the woodwork saying things like this, and they've been saying things like this. It's nothing new. Let me just make that very clear. I mean, Tom Hanks was saying very crazy things, not just earlier this year around January and February, but also before and just after the 2024 election. Just like George Clooney, Julia Roberts, Alec Baldwin, and many others. Now, he goes on to conclude, I see far too many falling for the lies and half-truths by President Trump. It's manipulative and strategic behavior coming from Donald Trump, who only wants to use the presidency to benefit himself. He is just looking for attention, always was and always will. That's who Donald Trump is. These are my views, and they should be respected as much as anyone else's views. But if you don't like it, if you are working against this country, then I don't know what else to tell you. I have been thinking maybe it's time I leave the US until we get someone else into office, and maybe, just maybe, people will grow with some common sense. So, Tom Hanks is obviously having a major fit right now. We know one thing about this is that, yeah, I do believe a lot of it has to do with a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, even his own fans of Stephen King. People are just boycotting Stephen King right now, and Tom Hanks is a friend of his. Obviously, there's some kind of connection there. There's no doubt about it. We know one thing about this whole situation ever since what happened on September 10th is that you are actually seeing the true colors of a lot of people right now. It doesn't matter what they are, affiliated with politically. Just looking at people as human beings, we're beginning to see what their true colors really are. The things that they say, how they act about this. This is what I see. This is not the right time to actually turn this into a Trump rant or some kind of anti-Trump rhetoric by Tom Hanks and Robert De Niro and among other actors out there that are saying the same, garbage out there over and over again. But we know one thing about this as well is that Tom Hanks, this could have been the moment where he could have just focused on the situation of what happened to Charlie. He could have, let out some support for his family and his friends out there that are obviously devastated right now, and they will be devastated for the rest of their lives. I mean, this is something that you truly, truly never get over, and it may be in the back of your mind, but it's always there about what happened. You may be able to stabilize it in your life, but it's never going to officially just vanish from your mind. So these people are devastated, they're going to be scarred, and they're going to deal with what happened on the 10th for many, many years from now, and it's going to be a very terrible thing. And the fact that you have a lot of actors like this acting this way, and even people in social media, people in the media, whether it's like CNN or MSNBC, etc., they're saying some of the most crazy things out there. But overall, I would love to hear what everyone has to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.